Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So when you see me, that means you know what time it is. It's 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So we'll give it a bit for people to join us and get ready for our daily live stream for what she said. Welcome back. So I'm just going to put on some music and we'll wait for people to join us. It's so much going on this weekend. We might not have a full house tonight, but we will relate to whoever's in the chat. And I have some updates for some of our faves from the Colorado Buffaloes. But in the HBCU world, there's some things going on as well I want to talk about. And y'all know I'm an HBCU grad. All right, so enjoy the music. All right. Welcome, welcome. Checking to see to make sure y'all can hear the music while we wait for people to join us. I see somebody has entered. Welcome. All right. So y'all know while we wait, I like to share some things. So this weekend there is in California at SoFi Stadium, Honda Battle of the Bands. Okay. So I know we think we're finished with bowl games, but the HBCU world is still going, and we're going to talk about the Legacy Bowl taking place in New Orleans about a week or two after the Super Bowl. So the HBCU Battle of the Bands at SoFi Stadium took place today and is still going on. And the bands represented some of your faves. Now, you know Southern is in the house. So you have Southern, you have Alabama State, Alabama A&M, University Arkansas, and Pine Bluff. And I feel like you have one more university. So it might just be the four of them though. But there's already some good footage out there from Southern. You know, Southern is going to do what Southern does. And of course, the Stingettes are in the house with Alabama State. And when I saw Alabama A&M, I thought about Coach Prime's daughter because, you know, she goes to Alabama A&M. So like I said, she's living her best HBCU life. So I don't know if they don't have a game, she might actually be in California tonight. But so if y'all have a chance to watch it, go check out the Battle of the Bands at SoFi Stadium, Honda Battle of the Bands. Check it out on your YouTube, or you can look for it on your Instagram. All right. Also in the HBCU world is the Legacy Bowl coming up. I think it's February 22nd. So it has to be the absolute last college bowl taking place, and it takes place after the Super Bowl. So, you know, the Super Bowl is coming up. It's on the 9th. Today is the, first? So 8 days to the Super Bowl and Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. And then we have the Legacy Bowl. So we'll probably talk about who's going to that. As I know it has to be the last bowl game for college sports. And Colorado. So shifting to Colorado. So the Colorado Buffs have their black and gold game on April 19th. So as we get closer to that, we'll talk about that. I can't wait to see it. I want to see who starts in that game, or if that game will be one where they have Caden and Juju playing quarterback. So, you know, maybe they get to show their strengths, and then, you know, later on in the season, Coach Prime names a starter. So I expect both Caden and Juju to play in the black and gold game for Colorado. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Gracie. Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you? So while we wait for people to join, I was just talking about the things that are happening in the HBCU world. The Honda Battle of the Bands today, Alabama State, Alabama A&M, the closest to Atlanta, they were there, along with, I think, University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Southern University from Baton Rouge, the Jaguars. So they were there as well. So we were just talking about that. And I like to recommend something. Okay. Well, more people come in the chat. I guess I can ask the question now, but people will hear it. Gracie, did you watch? Hey, Regina. Hey. I'm good, Gracie. I'm good. Hey, Regina, did either of you watch Bring It with Coach Diana Williams? You know, the majorette dance show that they used to have. I think it was on Lifetime, and she had all the girls at her. She had like the dancing dolls. Do any of you remember them? Let me know. Okay, the reason why I ask is I'm talking about the Battle of the Bands taking place today in California at SoFi Stadium, the Honda Battle of the Bands. And the lead captain for the Alabama State University, ASU Stingettes, her name is Princess. She's a dancing doll. She was one of the dancing dolls on the show in Jackson. And her mom used to drive her from Memphis to Jackson, Mississippi for practice every week or every day. Because, you know, Mississippi and Memphis, they share a border. I think not Jackson, but it's like a 30-minute drive. So she used to drive or something like that from Memphis, Tennessee to Jackson, Mississippi to bring her daughter to dance or practice at the Dancing Dolls. Her daughter is the captain of Alabama State University. And one of their performances I like to recommend is It a Crime by Sade? Is It a Crime by Sade? Oh, okay, all right. So one of the captains, Princess, is the captain for Alabama State University, the dance team, the Stingettes. And the best performance that they did was recently. It's on YouTube. I thought I saved it to my channel. It's called Is It a Crime? So they redid, you know, they played Sade's music and they danced to it. And that's the performance I said they should have. After that, I was like, this has to be the Atlanta Falcons, one of their halftime shows. And did y'all know that my alma mater, you know, the Shrine Bowl, you know, our players played in the Shrine Bowl. Did y'all know that Prairie View A&M University did the halftime show and did the music and everything? I had no idea that they were there until after the game. So they had an HBCU do the halftime show and perform the band. What is Prairie View? The Marching Storm. I didn't even know about it. I was like, okay. I'm like, somebody could have gave me a heads up or something because that's my alma mater. So, I just wanted to mention that while we wait. So listen, thank you, Gracie. We have a new member. Gracie joined What She Said. I appreciate you, Gracie. You with us every day. It was so funny because YouTube was like, you have some very loyal followers, some very loyal people. I was like, okay. So thank you for joining the family. I just saw a notification. So we have you here and we'll uplift you and definitely shout you out and make sure you're a part of everything that goes on with What She Said family. So I thank you for that, Gracie. And Regina, I decided that I was going to get you a Starbucks gift card because Regina won. It wasn't a bet. She actually predicted that the Eagles and the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl. I think she was one of the few that actually predicted that. So, and I know I can send those online, so I'll be sending it from my email address. And Gracie, you know, we have an email if you want to ever email me anything. Regina keeps me up to date and make sure I don't miss anything. It's What She Said. Is it What She Said 404@gmail.com or just What She Said? It's in the bio. Just look in the bio of the YouTube page. It's right there. And you can email me anytime, Gracie. So what y'all have going on today? Did y'all have much going on today? What y'all get into? It's just the three of us, so we can just talk. Anybody had anything special going on today? I didn't do too much today. I had a feeling I watched the Senior Bowl. I watched a little bit of it. Somebody got engaged. Somebody got engaged during the Senior Bowl, like a timeout or whatever. One of the players, I guess, or a coach or somebody. I don't even know who it was. But they were like, oh, they popped the question. And I was like, okay. And I did get to see Jalen Milroe. I got to see Jalen Milroe perform. Yes, absolutely, Gracie. Yeah, I think now I feel like they're getting more shine, you know? And I said on this channel, I mean, I'm an HBCU grad, you know, I knew I wanted to focus, like, show some love towards Norfolk State. I think Eddie George is going back to Tennessee State or still at Tennessee State. I don't think he'll left. And the new coach, Deshaun Jackson at Delaware. And then one of the Atlanta Falcons players from last year's draft plays with the Prairie View. I don't know if he got drafted or if he's a walk, but he's doing really well. He came from Prairie View. I remember that. So when we do the draft this year, I want to definitely focus on paying attention to the HBCU players. So when this live started, I announced that I think the very last college bowl is the Legacy Bowl for HBCU players, and it is February 22nd in New Orleans. So New Orleans is going to host the Super Bowl. It's also Mardi Gras, so it's parade season too. And on the 22nd, which is about 2 weeks later, maybe about 10 days later, 12 days later, they're going to host the Legacy Bowl at Tulane University, their stadium. So I'm missing a lot in New Orleans right now. But so I want to kind of focus on that too. There's some notable players. There was one player in the Shrine Bowl. There was, I think, maybe a few in the Senior Bowl. So I want to kind of put all that together, maybe do a video and we share it here and talk about it. So if y'all down for HBCU content, I'm the one, because I'm an HBCU grad. I'm actually on my TV right now as an Alabama State Singers. I just watch them perform sometimes. The band is so good. But the fact that I used to watch Bring It with the Dancing Dolls, and Princess is actually the captain of ASU, that's one of the reasons I keep up with it as well. They're only 2 hours from Atlanta. So I went down to one of their games, not this season. Last season, I went to Alabama State game. I think they were playing Southern. So I keep up with them too, so they're not too far away. You watched the last quarter of the Senior Bowl. How did it go, Regina? What do you have any takeaways? And Regina, would you like to come on camera? Because I can send you an invite. And if you want to talk about the Senior Bowl. Young man got the MVP. That was so emotional. His brother got killed a month ago in the New Orleans terrorist attack. What? Oh, I didn't hear about that. I bet that was emotional. And yeah, that's hard. Hi, Herman. Welcome. Greetings to you and all the guests. Thank you. Y'all want to welcome Herman to the chat. Welcome, Herman. We hope you're having a good weekend. Gracie says she worked till 4. Who was the player, Regina? Do you recall who it was? That got the MVP? What school did he go to or anything? My son's best friend who played for the Bills will be working for Michael Vick as a defensive line coach. What? All right, Gracie, we count on you for that first-hand information. What? Okay, that's good. I like that. Okay, my friend who played for the Bills. Okay. Yeah, because I remember you said your son played college ball too. At South Carolina, I think you said. That's kind of what I remembered. All right. So, I wanted to talk about Jimmy Horn Jr. and I know Cameron Silver Craig too. So I think it was on the podcast I did the recap of the Shrine Bowl where we talked about, everybody balled out, performed, etc. I mentioned that night that it had been suggested that Jimmy Horn Jr. didn't play because teams asked him not to play. So it is confirmed. Teams requested that Jimmy Horn, it were multiple teams. You may have seen the Pittsburgh Steelers floating around, but because he did so well in practice, he was told by the Steelers and some others, multiple teams, that they had seen enough to evaluate him. So that goes back to what I was saying about Kobe Bryant not playing. Kyle McCord was part of the practice team, but they didn't play. So essentially during practice is where they had a chance to evaluate some people, and if they saw enough, they need to practice. So what that does, it gave the other guys time to play. So Shiloh got a lot of love. It was supposed to be a wide receiver show. Somebody else said that, and I agree. It was supposed to be an offensive showdown, but it turned into a defensive showdown, and Shiloh got a lot of love. And I'm glad because it counteracted all of that negativity. So now I haven't seen any more posts about him not getting drafted, Shiloh not getting, drafted or whatever. So a lot came from it. But Jimmy Horn Jr. and from what I understand, Cameron Silver Craig. Now I didn't see what teams spoke to Cameron Steele McCraig. But when it came to Jimmy Horn Jr., it seems like the Steelers are very, very, very interested. And there's a lot of posts out there and videos talking about it. And I thought the Steelers were moving away from Russell Wilson. But apparently, they're thinking of pairing up Jimmy Horn Jr. with Russell Wilson. Do y'all remember in the season I talked about on the podcast, Shannon Sharpe was mad with one of the players. He called him lazy George Pickens. He said he's the one holding the Steelers back. Well, I think that might be the guy they want to move out of the way and bring Jimmy Horn in and possibly think about keeping Russell Wilson. I thought that the Raiders were bringing in Russell Wilson to be a veteran with Shedeur, but I knew that didn't make no sense. So that's why I didn't speak on it much. But the latest I heard about Russell was supposedly Pittsburgh was moving on from Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, getting another quarterback, and now we're hearing they are very interested in Jimmy Horn Jr. So shout out to Jimmy Horn Jr. for that nod. That should ease his his concern about getting drafted because he was hurt. And to me, it just goes to show you, playing at Colorado, you get hurt. Coach Prime came, and it just seemed like the players got a lot of love. But one, they all are ballers. We knew the wide receiver core was elite, so that's not a surprise. Hold on one second. So that's not a surprise. And I'm happy for Jimmy. Y'all, I mean, I like all the players, but y'all know Jimmy was that one everybody wanted to make sure that he gets to the next level. And he balled out during practice, and I'm pretty sure on the combine on the 27th, I'm pretty sure he'll ball out then, and I'll be live doing a combine because I want to, see how it goes. I've never watched it before. I think it's in Indianapolis, but I plan to do a live stream then. So shout out to Jimmy Horn Jr. for getting that nod, not having to practice. I watched an interview with Cameron Steele McCraig. I noticed when somebody asked him how he, what kind of, talking about how successful this was at practice, that when he gets to the game, did he want to get these big hits, etc. And I noticed the way he answered was like, we'll see. He knew then he wasn't playing. So Jimmy Horn Jr. as well as Cameron Steele McCraig got some nods where a team saw enough of them. So that gave the opportunity for LaJohntay, Will Shepherd, and Shiloh, in my opinion, more so Shiloh, to get the love, to try to dispel all the negativity, and that's exactly what happened. So, let's see. Regina said the guy played for TCU. Oh, okay. His name is Jack Beck. Oh, I think I remember him. Okay. Thank you, Regina, for sharing. He catch the winning touchdown. It was so great. Okay, that is good. I'm proud of Jimmy. I am very proud of Jimmy. Excellent. I was happy to hear that about Jimmy. Yeah, absolutely. Jimmy, like I said, everybody wants all of our busts to succeed. But for whatever reason, and maybe we know the reason, we want Jimmy to make it. We really do. He posted, because, I follow his stories. And I shared them on my page. I think I tried to. He was celebrating his little sister's birthday. He said, slow down. You're going too fast. I think she was straightening his hair before she twisted out or whatever. So, he got his family, and he gonna take care of his family. So that's one of the reasons I want him to make it for sure. I know they all gonna make it. I was telling a friend of mine today, I said, y'all know Coach Prime gonna get all them fellas in the draft. You see, we had 6 players at the Hula Bowl, 6 players at the Shrine Bowl. Now, we didn't have anybody in the Senior Bowl. What do y'all think about that? I'm shocked. I'm like, well, we didn't have 1 or 2 people there. Maybe we just focused all of our efforts at the Senior Bowl. But next year, I want to dominate the Senior Bowl, the Hula Bowl, and the Shrine Bowl. Let me know y'all thoughts. And let me know in the chat, where do y'all think, what team do y'all really think, regardless of who's interested in Jimmy, where do you think he would be a good fit? If you understand the needs of some of these teams, if you have a team that you follow and you I know they need a receiver, I'm going to say Pittsburgh, because I know Shannon Sharpe was not happy with George Pickens, and Shannon really felt like George Pickens was the reason, and him not doing his job was the reason that Pittsburgh didn't get the advance. So I'm going to go with, I would love to see Jimmy in Pittsburgh. Let me know y'all's thoughts. I think they gave Fields a chance. Who, Justin Fields? Yeah, they did. I mean, I maybe he didn't do well. I don't know. I didn't watch them. I watched one game where Russell Wilson was trying to keep the team in it. And afterwards, that's when Shannon Sharpe went off on Pickens. So it said, hi, Kiel. Welcome, Kiel. Pittsburgh will be nice. Okay, I like that. I like that. Pittsburgh will be nice. Okay, that's what I think too. Welcome, Jen. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Basically, cameras. Okay, we don't talk about Cameron Silvercraig enough. I went to his page again today. He didn't really have much. I need Cameron, if you ever see this message, Cameron Silvercraig, please get your social media going. Chidozie is winning the race. Chidozie, Shedeur, and Shiloh is an ambassador for AT&T now. I don't know if he was always an ambassador for AT&T, but he had an AT&T ad today on his social media. And it was talking about staying connected, and it was like Shiloh playing the piano, all of his favorite hobbies. It's like they took a lot of his videos, put them together to try to show, his connectivity. And I saw AT&T. I said, okay, because remember, Shedeur was the AT&T ambassador that we knew of, and he was down at the college football playoffs in the AT&T booth signing pictures and autographs. So now Shiloh is there. So apparently after the Shrine Bowl, and I don't know, well, never mind. After the Shrine Bowl, maybe he went on, got an endorsement from AT&T. So they know he's getting drafted. They know he's getting drafted. They wouldn't have done that otherwise. So yeah, he's definitely getting drafted. So where do y'all think? Now y'all know Cameron Silvercraig plays defense, right? Where do y'all think he should go? We talked about Jimmy. Right now I see Pittsburgh. They need to put some dogs around him so he flourishes. I got Jimmy jersey. Oh, okay. I like that. I might get his jersey. I hope he go to Pittsburgh. So we say Jimmy, Pittsburgh. So far, we say Pittsburgh will be good. Let's see what else y'all saying. Good evening, Kiel. I do think they need to give Fields a chance. They not. Fields and Russell Wilson are the two quarterbacks that I side-eye people because they sent him to Chicago when he got drafted, and that didn't work out. Now Caleb is not working out. They keep saying Russell Wilson is trash. So I don't like that. Because I don't hear anybody else being trash. So I don't like it. I don't like it because, again, this will be the year with Cam, Shedeur, and I don't know who else, Jalen Milroe. And let's talk about Jalen Milroe in a minute. I don't know why. I feel like it maybe has something to do with this is the year the tide turns. This is the year the black quarterbacks become the majority. And I feel like maybe if we get rid of Russell Wilson by saying he trashed or he washed up, it keeps that from happening, or they kick Justin Fields to the curb. To me, that's the only ones that get trashed. I never heard anybody trash Josh Allen after the loss. I never heard anybody say Josh Allen can't get to the big game. But that's all they said about Lamar. Oh, when it comes to the big games, he can't perform. He can't do this. I never heard anybody say that about Josh Allen. They felt sorry for Josh Allen. But Lamar, same thing. He can't get to the big games. And he wasn't the one that dropped the ball. He wasn't the one that made the difference when it came to the catches. So, learning more and more about the NFL, I side-eye certain situations. And the way that these quarterbacks get treated, I think because ultimately, I know in my heart, I feel like because dual threat quarterbacks, for the reason the number of black quarterbacks has risen so sharply fast, as opposed to the years of the league has been around and how hard they try to keep that from happening. Go watch Evolution of a Black Quarterback and you'll see. I feel like that's why they treat people like Justin Fields, these new quarterbacks. That's why Bryce Young got treated the way he did. Justin Fields. They talking about they're going to fix Caleb. Because I think they're trying to make the argument against C.J. Stroud. Remember, C.J. Stroud balled out first year. They don't want the quarterbacks coming out right now. They don't want them to be great. They don't want them to be great. They want to make a case for them to have to sit behind a vet. But not Bo Nix. Now, Bo Nix struggled, but they let him struggle and they let him get it. But Bryce Young, he's Heisman winner. Number 1 pick, he gets trashed. Justin Fields, he gets trashed. Caleb, they want to fix him. Russell Wilson, he trashed. He walked up. He washed out. CJ Stroud, he good the first year. The second year, his O-line doesn't work. Lamar Jackson gets them back in position to try to get to the Super Bowl. His tight end can't catch. I'm like, it just, but nobody says anything about Josh Allen or Joe Burrows. You know, Burrow's been there for a minute. He been there for a minute. So to me, the hatred seems to try to smother the rise of the black quarterback in the NFL, because not only are they coming out of college, and when they do get to start, they dominate. They coming out dominating. CJ Stroud. And I already heard somebody say it. So when it comes to Jalen Hurts, you think he's going to have a bad sophomore slump? I'm like, only if his O-line don't work or his tight ends can't catch. That's just facts. That's just facts. Because I do find it fishy that CJ Stroud got cheated by the refs and he didn't have an O-line. That's the only way. That's the only way Shedeur Sanders don't make it, don't get Colorado into the top 10. Because the O-line, is weak. And we know it wasn't weak on the whole side. We know it was just one side. And we had a coach that refused to make adjustments to the point where Coach Prime is like, okay, let's just go ahead on and do it. Your head coach having to tell a position coach when to make adjustments. And to me, that was it. And somebody brought up a very, very valid point about Shedeur. They say, people keep asking who's the better quarterback, right? They said Shedeur got the numbers he got with no O-line for 2 years in a row. Now, he had one on the left side in Jordan C. But on the right side, he was still hindered. I think he still ended up with 32 sacks. Year 1, 52, year 2, maybe it was 29, but when you add on to the Alamo Bowl, and you saw how they were doing him in the Alamo Bowl, it's like they were punishing him. I did a video about that. That is the only way you can negatively affect a quarterback, the O-line. So when I see what's going on with CJ Stroud, and I know he took his team all the way last year and they lost to Kansas City, all right. But then this year they come back, he hampered by an O-line, he still gets them there, and the O-line fails him. So, excuse me if I'm suspicious, but there's a pattern here. It's not happening to nobody else. This is not happening to Bo Nix. Bo Nix was allowed to start. Michael Penix Jr. was benched. The season went straight to the dirt, and then they want Michael Penix Jr. to be the savior. And I was like, I see one conversation with the Falcons this year talking about who's the starter. I think the fans will take a match to that stadium and burn it down. And now I'm hearing, are they going to take, what's his name? Whatever, Kirk Cousins, and try to, they don't know what to do with his contract. Gave him this god-awful amount of money. After drafting Michael Penix Jr. $100 million. Bench him. But they let Bo Nix start. And they let him struggle. And they gave him time to get it. But Michael Penix Jr. got to come and try to save the day. And then bad coaching keeps them from moving forward. And then there's Jalen Milroe. So I know when Alabama started the season, Jalen Milroe was, supposed to be one of these good quarterbacks. I'm listening to them trash him, right? I'm like, why are they trashing him like this? So I'm looking at the rankings of the quarterbacks, okay? I think it was Shedeur at first, Cam Ward second, Jackson Dart third, Milroe was fourth. I was like, okay, so if we change this, and I asked my friend, I said, how is it Jackson Dart is the number 3 quarterback in the league in college football, and didn't Ole Miss go 2-12? If Colorado would have went 2-12, Shedeur name wouldn't even be in the top 10, and y'all know I'm telling the truth. So he was like, well, I think Ole Miss was pretty good. I said they went 2-12. I was like, they went 2-12. How do you come out in the draft number 3 and your team went 2-12? I don't understand that. I'm like, so I don't know. And then Milroe is number 4, but the way they trash Milroe, you wouldn't think he would be the 4th quarterback in the draft. They make it seem like, this is what I read. It said his accuracy within a short pass is not good. I'm thinking they saying he inaccurate with these deep runs. I'm like, what? So did anybody watch the Shrine Bowl and see Jalen Milroe play today? Let me know what you heard. Let me know how he did. What were your thoughts? Regina, I know you said you watched the Senior Bowl. Did you watch Jalen Milroe? I think I saw one snap and I didn't see no problem. So it says, I agree with you that they need to put something around him, the Even family. It says, it's that double-edged sword. Yeah, it is. That's why I'm kind of looking at what's going on. And I'm not saying much, but I'm kind of watching. Now, y'all know how I feel. I keep hearing all of this talk about Shedeur to the Giants. I'm like, if they get Shedeur to the Giants, if they do, that's if. And Michael Penix Jr. him, these people gonna flip out. Because y'all know he NFL ready. See, people are trying to keep these quarterbacks coming out. Since CJ Stroud was successful his first year, they want to hinder everybody. And the only reason they trashed Justin Fields like they did in Chicago, don't make me have to tell you. Then he goes to Pittsburgh, and then he did well, and then the supporting cast. So truthful and insightful commentary. I'm glad you have your own independent channel. You could be ESPN easily, but you may be truthful and probing for real. Oh, that's absolutely, Herman, because we talked about this yesterday on our podcast. It was game night. Every Friday, 8 p.m. is game night on this channel, and we mix in some commentary about some of the hot topics happening. And one of the hot topics yesterday was this whole Shedeur Sanders to the Giants, because the Giants have like the number one market. They in the number one market. And I heard somebody else say it today. Yeah, Shedeur could go to the Giants and they got a good market. I'm like, you know what? Miss me with that. Miss me with the market and talk about the business of the organization. Talk about what matters. Even if he is the first quarterback that they draft, they had Saquon Barkley and they fumbled Saquon Barkley. Why would I think they would do right by Shedeur Sanders? And then when you add the fact that they have never had a black starting quarterback, whether he was a trade as a vet or whether they drafted him out of college, never. So you put those two facts together and you tell me why the Giants are good for Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders already has star power, and regardless of what team he goes to, the Titans might fool everybody. They might wake up on draft day and be like, number one pick, let me get Shedeur Sanders. They might, I don't know. But the point is, he's going to take his star power, whether it's to Nashville or Cleveland or somewhere else. But all of this talk about Shedeur being a perfect fit by these big box channels, which is what Herman is alluding to, it's just surface BS. Because they don't even have the ability to be honest about the team. I don't care if this video get 100 likes or 100 views. I'm gonna be real. Shedeur going to New York, the Giants, they told Saquon Barkley he could test the market as if Saquon Barkley didn't have any value as a player. Said that Chicago was running up the price as if Chicago was stupid. I know that's not a good word, but it was idiotic to treat somebody who's so valuable to an organization. And he goes to Philly and they going where? To New Orleans. They going to the Super Bowl. And the owner, bless his heart, putting the GM on notice for a year. Supposed to be gone when Saquon Barkley landed. The day we knew Saquon Barkley was going to Philly is the day they should have fired that GM. I'm like, I don't want Shedeur down there with those people like that. They clearly don't value talent. Look how long they held on to Daniel Jones. Come on. Like, the writing is on the wall. They don't care about winning. They don't care about winning. All of this surface BS, this the number one market, and so we're setting a precedent here that we want to praise teams because they have a fanatic fan base, but we don't want to focus on winning. That's the next conversation I want to have. it seems like the trend is, if the market is a good market, screw the players and their desire to win. I'm gonna just write you a check. So now the players want to collect the check. That's what you want the players to do, or that's what you think they want to do. But as long as you are valued in the billions, screw the players' desire to win. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And then when you have somebody like Caleb Williams, whose father is like, no, I don't want my son to go to a mess of an organization. He didn't say that, I did. A dysfunctional organization that it just is content with losing. Then he gets trashed because he doesn't want his son to go somewhere and his career die. It don't have to be that way. The question is, why are the Giants okay with losing? Why were they okay with fumbling Saquon Barkley, but consistently trying to retain the services of Daniel Jones? Answer that question, and then we can move on to maybe a real conversation. It's annoying. I'm just, as a fan, it's annoying. And I don't understand how some of these fans shell out the kind of money that they shell out to lose. Knowing that the organization is not putting people in place to win. They just want to hold on to some myth about human beings rather than secure the services of Saquon Barkley. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. It just makes no sense. None. But and every time, and it's funny, I was like, I'm so sick of this Shedeur to the Giants without a real conversation about the organization. And Stephen A is the only person. I told you, after this $126 million contract, I guess he can just be, a little freer to talk. Because before he signed it, I was thinking Stephen A was trying to get to the $126 million, which means if I got to put on this dog and pony show, that's what I'm gonna do. But now that I have it, I don't have to do that no more. He's basically telling Gilly, because Gilly's having the real conversation about the Dallas Cowboys. Like, they're talking about getting Ashton Jeanty. I don't know why they have the Ashton Jeanty going number 13, but they do. They have him going down number 13, and he's supposed to be going to Dallas. I was like, bless his heart, because if he really want to win a Super Bowl, he gonna have to fix his mindset to understand the priority in Dallas is not winning games, it's selling tickets and merch, some of which I bought from Marshall, by the way. I said I was gonna wear it on the show. But I feel some type of way about that, considering we talking about the Cowboys, and you know who the owners are, and you understand the history. And the Giants, you understand their history as an organization, even though I don't know who they are. It's almost a power move. I hate to tell y'all, but it's a power move. It's like, okay, remember, the NFL's history didn't include black people, right? It didn't. But over the years, they start drafting from HBCUs after dismissing HBCUs. Then, trying to leave our schools underfunded so we don't get the talent to compete with the league. And compete with Power 5s or 4. So that's why our schools are left defeated, whether you knew it or not. Then, you start seeing players from HBCU like Walter Payton, come into the league and become stars. So they realize the dynamic is, okay, instead of us drafting from HBCUs, we're going to get these good players from HBCUs who would go to HBCUs and entice them to come to these Power 5s. So that's what happened. And then our schools just became more about the band and academics than sports. So then you get more and more black people into the NFL, right? And then what happens? The quarterback. Oh, y'all can play you can play receiver, you can play running back, you can play defense lineman, you can do this, you can do that, but you couldn't be the quarterback. Go watch Evolution of a Black Quarterback. Then he finally, Michael Vick. It's not a coincidence Michael Vick was a dual threat quarterback. That's the dynamic that changed everything in terms of quarterback position. All of the myths, all of the years about you can't win the big games, what they keep saying about Lamar Jackson is just a tired trope. But they don't say it about Josh Allen. And then Michael Vick comes along. Then you get into more and more quarterbacks. Then the owners are like, they see Michael Vick be successful. Oh, I want one of them. Then what happens to Michael Vick? Then you go further, you get more and more quarterbacks. It's not just Doug Williams no more. Michael Vick becomes, the standard now, the dual threat. Then let's fast forward. You got CJ Stroud. You got CJ Stroud as a rookie starting and taking his team to, I guess it was the AFC Championship against, I'm assuming it's what it was, when they lost to Kansas City, right? And that changes everything because the argument became, are you going to let them start? You know what I'm saying? It went from we couldn't play the position to Michael Vick, dual threat quarterback. Everybody want a dual threat quarterback. Okay, I'm going to let you get a dual threat quarterback, but he's going to sit behind his veteran. But not CJ Stroud. And he gets all the way. Then his sophomore year, hell, because his O-line all of a sudden don't know how to function. That's the only way you take down a quarterback, the O-line. So, Jalen Hurts went through it. He was at Alabama. They put him behind Tua. He left and he went to Oklahoma. Then he comes out. The whole time he's in Philly, it's like they didn't really care for him at first. They had to grow to love Jalen Hurts. And they picked on his personality. He doesn't seem happy. Is he happy here? I'm like, so what are you supposed to tap dance for you? He has a personality, and clearly he's mild-mannered. Be thankful for that, let him be who he is. So finally, I even heard it said when they won the championship, the step before the Super Bowl, when they won the AFC, I guess he just doesn't really smile all the time. He's clearly happy. They don't talk about other people like that. So, here we are now. Russell Wilson, that we just talked about that collusion case, and Russell Wilson's name was in it. Lamar Jackson, look how he treated, his name was in a collusion case. Kyler Murray, I rarely hear about what's going on in Arizona, even though we have a buff down there. I still don't really know what goes on with them. But I said yesterday, I don't think it's a coincidence that Russell Wilson's name was in there and they trying to kick him out the league. I'm talking about he washed up. It's not a coincidence that they trashed Lamar Jackson the way they do. It's not a coincidence that the Justin Tucker situation is not being talked about. So when we look at the dual threat quarterback and I see how Bryce Young was treated, I see how Justin Fields was trashed, how they need to fix Caleb, how CJ Stroud sophomore season, the O-line can't get it together. I'm like, the rise of the black quarterback is due to the dual threat quarterback. So to me, they trying to find a way to circumvent that. That's why they brought in Michael Penix Jr. and benched him. Because if CJ Stroud is successful, Michael Penix Jr. is successful, Justin Fields go to Pittsburgh, if he was successful, it's one that all of a sudden he was good, then he couldn't. What does that say? It changes everything again. So it went from we can't play this role, we can't play this position, to hey, I want to do a threat quarterback. I want to do a threat quarterback. To now, the majority of the quarterbacks in the NFL after this draft are supposed to be black, and I'm trashing Shedeur Sanders. I don't even talk about Cam Ward. Oh, he has a stronger arm. They the same quarterback. But by now, Jalen Milroe's being trashed. I don't hear Jackson Dart being trashed. He ain't number 1 or number 2. I don't hear Kyle McCord being trashed. He number 5. But number 1, number 2, and number 3, Shedeur and Jalen Milroe are being trashed. So if you move Jackson Dart out the way, you have Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe, top 3 quarterbacks being drafted off the board. The hatred is not a coincidence. It's intended to impede and stop the rise of the black quarterback becoming the majority of quarterbacks in the NFL when it comes to starters. That's why they benched Michael Penix Jr. and put him second so he wouldn't be a starter till they needed him. But they didn't let him get past the season. So it's going to be interesting next year. The draft itself is going to be interesting. I still ask, how does a quarterback from a 2-12 team get to the 3rd spot in the draft? And then they trashing Dylan Gabriel, y'all. Remember how Oregon was this mighty Ducks? They done trashed Oregon ever since they lost Ohio State, and they talking about Dylan Gabriel might go 3rd round. But Kyle McCord is slowly but surely making his way to that top 5. And these are nice guys. I don't know them. They just pawns in the game. They just don't know it. But to me, if you notice who the hatred is directed towards and nobody else gets it, it's letting, and then when you put this collusion case out here and it involves veteran quarterbacks, not veteran players, veteran quarterbacks, and not wanting them to get guaranteed contract, and you see how Russell Wilson was treated down in Denver, how they publicly embarrassed and tried to humiliate him and break him down. Same thing with Bryce Young. Bryce Young got sacked 64 times his first season, and they were shocked that they didn't even want to consider that he could be suffering from PTSD. Bryce Young won the Heisman and was the number 1 pick in the draft. Caleb Williams won the Heisman, number 1 pick in the draft, and they want to fix him. It's devaluing his talent. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about it because it ain't right. It's not right. And I just feel like I have said I don't have a favorite team. I support the players. If they want to go out there and and I understand this is generational wealth for them. And as long as they go into it with certain teams don't really want to win, the priority isn't to win, then you're gonna be okay. But there are guys like Saquon. It probably frustrated him for years that they lost, and then didn't value him and told him you could go test the market. And then when the price for him went up, they just running up the price. Like he didn't have value. But Saquon probably sat and watched him season after season after season, trying to secure the services of Daniel Jones. That's a slap in the face. So I'm glad Saquon got to choose for himself. There were 2 other teams he did not choose. He chose Philly. And what did they do for Christmas? Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley got together and bought golf carts for all of the O-line, not just the starting, all of them. And they were all personalized. And these 2 guys, they play together well. And the snowstorm game, Saquon Barkley could be seen. He lined up right next to Jalen. He turns, he looks at Jalen. He like, I got this. Jalen passing off the ball, and what does he do? Run up the field, hitting himself in the head, trying to make himself go, 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 and he scores. And that's who the Giants didn't respect. And I think Shedeur Sanders should go to the Giants? It wouldn't surprise me if they take Jackson Dart or they take Kyle McCord. I feel like they was trying to get Kyle McCord, but that's just what it is. But it seems like they trying to do everything they can to make sure the top 3 quarterbacks off the board are not black, which is why, to me, they trashed Jalen Milroe. Sometimes it's not about it doesn't seem like it's about the sport. It doesn't even seem like it's about the business. It's about power. It's about power. If I never wanted a black quarterback and I was alive at that time and I had the ability to make decisions that made sure that didn't happen, what you think I'm going to just ride and watch Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and Jalen Milroe go top 3 in the NFL draft? Each draft that could turn the tide and make black quarterbacks the majority? That's a long way to come from the 50s, 60s, or whatever. That's a lot of progress in a short amount of time, even though it was painful and a lot of quarterbacks, were converted to wide receivers, which was very popular. That's why I said it is Black History Month. I celebrate Black History every day. But we gonna spotlight some things during Black History Month. And the one thing I'm spotlighting today, please go watch Evolution of a Black Quarterback, produced by Michael Vick and Coach Prime's business partner, Ms. Constance Milner Short. Yeah, I do have a Cowboys gear. I do have a Cowboys. I think it's at my mom's house in Houston. So y'all might not see it because I don't think I won't be flying anytime soon. I was telling my friend, I said the reason why I took 3 road trips to Texas because I was afraid to fly. And I'm not fearful of much. I'm afraid to go to New Orleans. And y'all know I will be in New Orleans right now. I was there 6 times between August and New Year's. I celebrated New Year's Eve and New Year's Day in New Orleans. And after that, it just shook my soul. And I'm not a fearful person. But I would love to go to the Legacy Bowl. I just can't do it. Just like right now. I'd rather drive from Georgia to Texas before I hop on the aircraft. It's just a fear that I have, and I'm not a fearful person. I feel like my instincts are more about like when they say your intuition. You gotta follow your intuition. So that's just where I am on that. You know, I would love to be in New Orleans. You know, going live on Bourbon Street for y'all, but I hope whoever's there just have a good time. I'm probably gonna watch Earth Cam. Remember I told y'all, if you're new to the channel, Earth Cam has a 24/7 cameras fixed on New Orleans on Bourbon Street. They have a balcony height one and they have a street view one. It's 24/7. Hold on 1 second, I dropped mine. I lost my earring. But that's really how I feel though. I feel like the only time you are comfortable with losing money when you have the talent to win, it's because you don't want that talent to win. You don't want to give that satisfaction, the talent of winning. And it is true. If some people can't be the captain, they are willing to sink the whole damn ship. And while the ship isn't sinking, it is when you lose and lose and lose and lose. But when your fans, when you keep making money with tickets, when you keep making money with merch, that's why I can tell Saquon Barkley, sure, go test the market. I don't need you no way. Because they don't. They don't want to win. That's the conversation fans need to get through their thick skull. You out here doing everything you can to spend $400 for a ticket, but they not trying to win. And somebody came into my comment section under one of the videos I posted about the referees and the NFL need to look into it. And you know what they said? They said they need to look into gambling and fixing the games to coincide with the point spread. Because I think it was a cheating scandal came out again. A basketball player named Terry Rozier. I thought he used to play for Boston, but he played for Miami. In 2023, he conspired with some people to fix the game. And this when you was betting with the apps and everything was talked about it on YouTube. Well, the scheme was supposed to be he hit his unders. So he has under 20 buckets. He plays under 10 minutes, yada, yada, yada. All of his unders, not the over, but the under. So what he conspired to do is pretend he was hurt. So he played only 10 minutes, which meant he didn't play 15. So that was the under. He had hit like maybe 3 buckets, so it still was under. So he conspired to cheat with other people who he knew was betting on the app, and he underperformed and he pretended to be hurt, and that's how he hit his unders. Well, a betting app recognized the weird activities surrounding him, people betting on him, and they shut it down. They wouldn't let any more bet. One guy goes online and he says, well, I'm glad I was in on it because I made some money, yada, yada, yada. So the person that's coming to the comments is saying that it is likely possible that the refs are controlling the game enough, not the win or the lose, but the point spread. So is this game going to get up to 55 points? Is the game going to get up to 30 points? That type of thing. And today this guy had posted on Instagram. He said, well, y'all, I jumped on the bandwagon. He said, I ordered my Chiefs jersey. So he goes to the door and gets like an Amazon package and he opens it. And guess what he pulls out of it? A ref jersey. And he puts it on. So that's the growing sentiment that the refs cheat for Kansas City. So we'll see where it goes. But it seems like when it comes to the NFL, they don't really take things too seriously. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I do side eye some of the way the quarterbacks are cheated, how the quarterbacks are trashed, because there's people that don't want them to be quarterback. And Shedeur told Cam Ward, they're going to start hating on you too. Because, Shedeur get a lot of hate. And right now he getting a lot of love. And online, a lot of people are looking up his, they doing like replays and I guess evaluating all his plays. And they showing why he's a good quarterback. So now that he made it past all of the hate, suddenly he's a good quarterback. He's so good, they don't want to send Cam Ward to New York. They want Shedeur to go. Why couldn't Cam Ward benefit in New York? Why couldn't Jackson Dart benefit in New York? I don't hear him trying to send Jackson Dart to New York. They're not trying to send Kyle McCord to New York, which is who I think will end up there because he went to Syracuse. New York actually gets that Syracuse feed from those fans. So all those Syracuse fans that weren't Giants fans before, who are fans of Kyle McCord, and Fran Brown is the coach up there. They had players in Syracuse Colorado had the most players in the Shrine Bowl, followed by Alabama and Syracuse. I think had players were pretty much everywhere too. So let's see what it says. Kiel said no Cowboys gear. No. It says, hey, what she said, Queen T. It says in chat, did y'all hear that some people are boycotting the Senior Bowl, the Super Bowl, because they are tired of the teams that's playing and continuing, and they did say something about the refs as well. No. What I didn't hear about that, but there's this famous restaurant in New Orleans called Morrow's, Morrows. Normally you can't get in there. They ran an Instagram post. We taking walk-ins. I was like, what? Morrow's taking walk-ins during the Super Bowl? They don't have no reservation. So something's going on. Thank you for sharing that, Queen T. Something's going on, but I did not hear that. And I don't know if y'all knew, but after that attack happened in New Orleans, they had the Sugar Bowl was the next day. So they had postponed it by a day and they played it anyway. They had to sell those tickets for $1. If you didn't already have your ticket, you could have bought a ticket for the Sugar Bowl for $1 after the attack. So rather than just postpone the game, they wasn't gonna do that. They just let the tickets go for $1. So, and then you could see at the top it wasn't anybody there. So, and even the city of New Orleans is like trying to make people feel comfortable, talking about, it's safe. I'm like, I'm from New Orleans and I'm good. I'm not going. So it said Archie Manning and Fran Tarkenton were dual threat QBs in the 70s, but were never stereotyped as runners. The Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson. Joe Namath was a mobile QB before he injured his knee. Okay, thank you for that, Herman. Here's my question. Why do they keep saying Shedeur is not a mobile quarterback? I have watched Shedeur run out the pocket multiple times to get a touchdown or a first down. What is it that I'm missing? They're like, well, Cam Ward is a dual threat quarterback. Shedeur is not. They're trying to say he's a pure pocket passer. I don't see Shedeur as a pure pocket passer. Is the pocket bigger than I think it is? If you have any updates, let me know. And shout out to Chidozie. He has his social media buzzing. If y'all haven't watched it, A Day in the Life was the first one. The second one, Coach Prime was in one of his videos. He went up to the practice facility and Coach Prime was like, don't even worry about his height, because maybe somebody said his height is he should be taller to play defense. He said he is a dog, and he is. Chidozie is a dog. When we got here from U of H, I was like, okay. I got my master's from U of H, so I still pay attention to it. So I had told people about it, back in Houston. I said, we just got one of y'all guys. So the dog. I think he's gonna get drafted, and I think his footage, having it out there, I think it's gonna help him. It shows his training. Coach Prime is in it, endorsing him. Like when they were at the practice facility or whatever. So if y'all haven't watched it, it's Chidozie, his first name, Chidozie and Waku. YouTube page is under his name. He even has it like he drops his daughter off at school, then he goes up to the practice facility. That's the one called The Day in the Life. The other one is NFL I'm Ready, like showing that he's ready to be in the NFL. Thank you for that, Herman. It says, that's a very good statement. But the game was more tougher than Archie Manning. He took a beating. Oh, wow. Okay. I just know New Orleans loved Archie Manning. Like, that man didn't do no wrong. When it came to football. So, yeah, no, I didn't hear that. All right. So, the second thing I wanted to talk about is one of my faves is back on Instagram and showing his workouts. I saw photos. I'm sure he'll have actual videos. Travis Hunter. So Travis Hunter is showing his training videos. He's showing he's getting ready for the NFL. It's on his DB tip page. And also about Trav, apparently, I saw a post that says he's preparing to tell NFL teams that he wants to play both ways instead of just they want him to play corner. And I have been hearing more and more about that. But I did hear the Jaguars were interested. Well, I mean, they said the Jaguars would be fine with him playing both ways. So here's the predicament that I see here. All right. And y'all tell me y'all's thoughts. So Travis right now is the number 4 player in the draft, I think. Or number 3. It's Cam or Shedeur Cam. That's 1 and 2. They snuck the edge rusher in there from Penn State. I think he might be going. They said either Cam or Shedeur or Abdul Carter is going first. And the Browns, I think, is Shedeur. I don't know why they don't think Cam will be a fit in Cleveland, but I don't think Cleveland is getting a quarterback. Again, I believe the Las Vegas Raiders will trade up to the number 2 spot to get Shedeur Sanders. And then number 3 is the edge rusher or Cam Ward to the Giants. So if the edge rusher go to Tennessee, Shedeur goes to Shedeur goes to Vegas by way of trade with Cleveland for the number 2 spot, and Cam Ward goes 3rd. That means Travis is 4th. If Travis goes number 4, he's going to the Patriots. Do y'all have any insight on the Patriots? Have they ever had 2-way players? Do y'all think they would let Travis play both ways? Do you think him trying to talk the team into it would benefit him? Or would he ruffle some feathers because the almighty league and the almighty teams like to flex their power? You're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to tell you. Let me know y'all's thoughts. That's what I wanted to talk about. Yes, I heard that as well. They said Shedeur's arm isn't strong and he's not a runner. But they compare Shedeur with Cam Ward and some other teams looking at Cam Ward over Shedeur. Yeah, it seems that Stephen A. is pushing that narrative that Cam Ward should go to Tennessee. So I'm like, all right, if Cam Ward go to Tennessee, again, that means Shedeur is going to be right there when Cleveland picks. I don't see Cleveland picking Shedeur because Deshaun Watson. Like, that's a big stop right there. So I see them trading that pick. Does anybody know how many picks Cleveland has in the draft? Number 1, that might enlighten us. If anybody go Google how many picks the Browns have, then we maybe can figure some stuff out. And then that means Abdul Carter still hasn't been drafted. So if he hasn't been drafted, is it possible that the Giants trade their pick? Oh, I know what they're going to do. I think they're going to get Kyle McCord. Y'all, I don't know why. Remember, it's Shedeur, the quarterbacks. It's Shedeur, Cam, Jackson Dart, and Jalen Milroe, and then Kyle McCord. Those are the top 5. I think if Shedeur is gone, some people say they think Travis Hunter could go to the Giants. Well, it don't even matter what they need. They ain't gonna do nothing with it, so it don't matter what they need. But I did hear that Travis Hunter will go 3rd to the Giants if Shedeur is gone by the time the Giants pick. I think the Giants will pick Kyle McCord. They might pick Jackson Dart too, but I haven't heard much about Jackson Dart. Like I said, I don't know how your team go 2-12 and you the number 3 pick when it comes to the quarterbacks. And people actually said they felt like after the 3rd quarterback was taken, the rest of them wouldn't even go to the 3rd round. I was like, what? So it says, I can't recall any 2-way players in New England. Who's the quarterback in New England? That would say a lot too. Does anybody know who the quarterback is in New England? Do they have any quarterback issues? Who's the quarterback? It says, I don't want Shedeur to go to the Browns. And the Browns is like a team you get stuck forever. Oh, I agree. I don't think he's going there. I don't think that would be a shocker. The 2 shockers would be if Tennessee took Shedeur first after all of this speculation. And if he was still available, that the Browns would have to actually draft Shedeur. I don't think the Browns have the ability to draft Sanders because of Deshaun Watson. What are they gonna do with Deshaun Watson? Can they trade him? Does he have a no trade clause? They still gonna be responsible for how much money? I don't see him. I think that's the tradable pick. to the Raiders, which is why after the Raiders hired Pete Carroll, it was speculated that he would bring in Russell Wilson. So if he bring in Russell Wilson, if Pete Carroll brings Russell Wilson, what they gonna do with Shedeur? Yeah, I don't see him going. I don't see him going now. Kiel, thank you for becoming a member. You and Gracie so far, y'all. We have memberships. Check it out. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. We have friends of What She Said, and then we have What She Said family. So y'all can decide at what level, based on how much you think you're gonna hang out with us, that you want to join. It's not expensive. I don't think anything is over $10. And we're live every day. As we grow our membership, we're planning to start having private live streams. So it's more than 3 of us on it. And then when you get early release videos. So there's some perks that go along with that. And if Shedeur go to Nashville, we got a field trip to Nashville. Understand that. So there's some perks there. So check it out. I'll put the link in the chat so y'all can look into it and decide if that's something that you would like to do. But we love to have you. So I want to shout out my 2 members, Gracie and Kiel, who are basically on live every day. So it was perfect for them to join too. So it says, what it says. Looking at it says, as far as Travis playing two-way, if they don't pay him to play two-way, it's not beneficial. It seems like what he's pushing for, based off the article I read, what he's pushing for, he doesn't want to go to a team that only wants him to be a corner. And he doesn't want to go to a team that wants him to be a corner all the time, a full-time corner, and maybe sometimes I put a few packages together on wide receiver. So they say he's preparing to talk to teams that he want to be full-time, just like he was used at Colorado. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't even know. I mean, do y'all think if that was a lot of snaps? He played a lot of snaps, and I know he can do it. But do you think in his rookie year he would be good, knowing how the NFL, these guys are big, that playing both ways? You think they would let him do that in the NFL, playing full-time wide receiver, full-time corner, getting as many snaps as he had? Remember, he had 400 more snaps than any other player in college football. It says, let's see. All right. Thanks for that, Gracie. You said you couldn't recall any two-way players. She said, I don't want Shedeur to go to the Browns. I don't know if that's my question. Would any team really employ Travis to play both ways in the same manner that he did at Colorado? So it's essentially you've got to pay him twice. The Giants are looking to get journeyman QB on the draft, the defensive lineman from Penn State. Journeyman QB and draft the defensive lineman from Penn State. Is that Abdul Carter? No, that's Abdul Carter is an edge rusher. Is that who you're talking about? Yeah. Thank you for that. New member. Oh, Regina became a member. Thank you, Regina. She with us every day too. Thank you, Regina. Thank you. We always together anyway. Thank you. All right, y'all. So if y'all hanging out with us, become a member. It says there's a lot of snacks in the NFL, and some of those wide receivers, there are monsters. They can take the top off of it at any snap. Oh, okay. There are a lot of snaps in the NFL, and there are some wide receivers. There are monsters. Yeah, I can see that, Kiel. I can see that. That's my question, and that's what people said about him. Okay, so this goes to another question. So remember, was it Richard Sherman? Whether he said bland or blend, we know Travis is a wide receiver that stands out. He wasn't bland and he didn't blend. But what the argument was is there's some grown men in the NFL. You got guys in their 30s. And, Travis really isn't that big of a guy, even though he did put on some weight. Do y'all see him really being able to play those kind of snaps like that with that type of strength in the NFL? I just don't see it. I really don't see it, just because the age dynamic in college is what, 17 to 22. How old was Bo Nix when he was drafted? He had some age on him. So did Michael Penix Jr. was 24. So I don't know. They all about the same weight class a little bit. But to me, the NFL, I don't know. It says, Gracie said that talk was that in the NFL, Travis would be used specifically at one position, probably DB, and have some options in the office, but not every snap in the offense. But okay, Gracie, that's it. That's exactly what the second comment said in the article. The first one was he doesn't just want to be a cornerback, and he doesn't want to be a full-time cornerback with a few packages on wide receiver, that he's preparing to talk to teams about playing both ways. But the Jaguars did say, if the Jaguars pick to number 6 or number 7, he's gonna have to sacrifice and sit there until the Jaguars can pick. To me, that's his only option to work. I mean, you can't go to the New England Patriots. They have the 4th pick and you fall at number 4. I don't know if him going to New England is gonna benefit him going, well, you know, if y'all pick me, I want to play both ways. I mean, does the NFL work like that? I don't get that. I know you can probably say, I don't want to go here, but I don't know if you can tell them that's the kind of offense and defense player you want to be. So that's what he's planning to do. I don't know who advised him to do that, and I don't know if anybody should advise him against it. I just think that if the Jaguars are one of the only teams or one of the few teams, he's going to have to go to that team that'll let him play both sides of the ball exclusively, and they're going to have to make a trade, or he's going to have to sit and wait. That's what I'm thinking. Let me see when the Jaguars pick. Let's see. Can anybody check? Can somebody check and see when the Jaguars pick? I don't want to mess up my connection here. I think that might have been what happened to my picture. All right, so I'm going to put that up there. It says Charles Woodson was the first person to play two-way in college. I love me some Woodson. He was a Heisman in his day. Yeah. I think I saw an interview with Charles Woodson and Travis Hunter, and I think Woodson asked him, do you think you're playing too much? The wear and tear on the body, it increases the injury, that type of thing. I don't know. I just want to know, what do y'all think about him wanting to talk to teams about that? Like, if you draft me, this is what I want to do. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody doing that, but Travis is a generational player, so maybe there's not been an opportunity. But that's really my thought. Like, from a business perspective, like, how is that going to go over well with the team? Or is he going to try to ask them, well, since you have the number 1 pick, if you won't let me play two ways in the league, can you work with somebody to trade me to a team that has agreed to let me play both ways? I think that would be his only option. I just don't know how it would go. And what is he going to do if they say no? Right? Like, what if they say, now we got the number 4 pick and we want to pick you? We don't want you playing both ways. We don't think it's feasible. We think you could get injured, and we'd rather have you available as corner. And they say no, we're not trading you. Well, you know, if he get pushed back, what you gonna do? It said the rookie salaries are slotted 1 through 10, so they can only get a certain amount of money. Oh, really? Okay. So he would have to go number 1 through 10. Basically, that's what you're saying. He'd have to go number 1 through 10 to get the money that he wants. I don't know if he's giving up anything by doing that. That's what I'm thinking. And is he giving up anything by having this preference that most teams don't want to yield to. And if you have a team that says yes outside of number 10, or you being a top draft pick, are you willing to give that up? And are they willing to make it? Is the team that actually can pick you willing to make the trade? That's why I say I don't know how it will work out for him to go to the NFL and say, hey, I understand you want me to play both ways, but I want to play, you want me to play one way, but I want to play both ways. And do you think, it's possible that you could reconsider? And if they say no, and he's like, well, can you trade me to the Jaguars? And if they say no, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just from the short period of time, not from just observing the NFL, but reading about this case and this collusion case and looking at how people get treated. I don't know. It said, that's what I'm saying. It's not beneficial if there's nothing to it. It brings too much on the body. Yeah. I think so too. So yeah, I guess we just gonna have to wait to see on Travis. We just gonna have to wait and see on Travis to see if he, what happens with his situation. My question is, okay, what if you make the request and they say no? What are you gonna do? Are you not gonna play in the NFL? Of course you're gonna play, right? Unless you think the money you made in college is just enough. I'm like, I know he wouldn't be crazy enough to do that. I hope. You never know. It says Champ Bailey also played both ways at UGA in '96. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just gonna have to wait to see on Travis. I was trying to keep up with his, his journey, like his workout journey. I don't know exactly where it is he's working out. But yeah, now that's another thing. You'd have to pay him. Like Coach Prime said, you got to give him 2 bags. And when Charles Woodson and Champ Bailey, that was in college though. Okay, never mind. That was in college. So yeah. PL, you said something about money. What about money? Yeah, I agree. If there's no money, if the money is not there, if it comes down to the money, I don't know how much rookie contracts are, but if it's not substantial difference, I don't see the wear and tear on the body being the play. Because I think what would happen is his career will be short-lived. I think if he plays both ways for any amount of money, I think his career in the NFL will be short-lived. He'll get the type of scenario Coach Prime had. What's that, Gracie? Oh, full-time corner and having packages. Is that what you're talking about? I can see that. That's what I think he's gonna get. What it sounds like he's moving away from. He's trying to say to the teams without sitting down and talking to them. And I'm assuming he's having interviews too, just like everybody else. Is that I don't just want to play corner. I don't just want to play corner and receiver. It sounds like he's trying to push the envelope. He wants to be one of probably the first player in the NFL that is a full-time receiver and a full-time corner. If that's what he was in college, that's what he wants to be in the NFL. And it seems like he wants to sit down and talk to the teams about it. And the Jaguars, I think, is the only team right now that have said, okay, this is something we would consider maybe. Or this is something we'd be open to. It said the Jaguars couldn't move up in the draft to New England's spot. It said they couldn't. And they couldn't flip-flop because they probably wouldn't get Travis and give New England more picks in the lower rounds. That's what would have to happen. It would have to be whatever team that did say yes, he can be playing on both sides of the ball would have to trade with New England. Because right now, he's the only person outside of people thinking he's going to Tennessee. And as Abdul Carter comes into the conversation, Travis is a lock at 4. Travis is a lock at 4 based on everything that I've seen, even with crazy scenarios. But remember, these scenarios can change, even though all of the bowl games, except for the Legacy Bowl, that's the last one, but that doesn't influence these players. Right now, it seems to be Travis is a lot in New England. So that's who we need to be talking to. And to see if New England says no, the question is, with the Jaguars said he can play both ways. But are the Jaguars willing to trade up and to give up whatever they got to get him to play both ways? Those are all questions that have to be answered. It says, and all these older NFL players know how the game goes. That's why they're looking at Travis and saying no. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Youngest, you don't know yet. I don't know. It says, yes, that's more practical for the next level starting out for Travis. Yeah, it is. It is. The position in the draft determines what money each team gives. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, thank you, Kiel. I didn't know that. So the position in the draft determines what amount of money each team gives to the player that they drafted 1 through 10, and it's only the top 10. It's not the first round. See, I thought it was the first round. If you were a top 10 draft pick, you get something like a different contract or something like that. Okay, so that means that we talking Travis. Who first? Cam, Shedeur, the edge rusher, then Travis, and so that's 4 people, and it's a bunch of Ohio State people in the draft too. McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, he's a top 5 pick. I think he's skirting somewhere between 4, 5, and 6, depending on what happens at the top. And then Abdul Carter, he's in there somewhere. I think he might end up with the Giants. I still think the Giants probably gonna use their pick on Kyle McCord. I don't know why I think that, but he went to Syracuse, so it makes sense. And they were raving about him. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so at the Shrine Bowl, there was an article put out. It said, these are the Giants draft prospects. I was like, what? I never heard anybody do anything like that. Kyle McCord was on the list, and so was Kobe Bryant. And neither one of them played. That's why I think all of this Shedeur talk is just that. I think they're going with Kyle McCord. And it seemed like for cornerback, people said Travis could go. Travis and Kobe both ain't playing cornerback in New York. So they might go with Kobe Bryant, and Travis might end up a Jaguar or something like that. But New England gonna have to trade though. But I did think that was interesting that during the Shrine Bowl, somebody did a report saying that these are the people the Jets are looking at. I didn't even know you could do that. I guess they already know because the season is over for football and for the NFL, so they kind of know what their draft picks are. That's something I have to study. I really need to sit down and look at what picks the Browns have. I felt like I read that the Raiders had 10 picks. I mean, overall. So there's 8 rounds. They had 10 picks. And if I'm not mistaken, and Devontae Adams left the Raiders and went to the Jets, they got a draft pick. And it was a number 4 draft pick. It was a 4th round that could go up to a 2nd round. And that's where I said Shedeur and somebody else. Initially, I said Shedeur and Shiloh. But now I'm thinking, well, if Pittsburgh wants to get Jimmy, it still could be Shedeur and Shiloh. They could both go to Vegas. They could. It could be LeJounte too, because he got good chemistry. Everybody talks about. I had a picture too of, I guess LeJounte giving Shedeur a hug. They do. They have good chemistry. It was at the Shrine Bowl. I guess he was thanking him for everything. Because remember, Shedeur is the reason LeJounte came to Colorado. Yeah. See, people don't know that. Shedeur is the reason Cam Ward stayed in college 1 more year. Shedeur is the reason Travis Hunter came to Jackson State. Shedeur is flipped from Florida State, and Shedeur is the reason that LeJounte left FAU and came to Colorado. Shedeur is a damn good recruit, ain't he? He's a good recruiter. It says, so yeah, we post that. The position in the draft, that's what I was reading. It says, was any of Colorado players at the Senior Bowl today? I don't think so. I don't think, no, we didn't have nobody in the Senior Bowl. We had the Hula Bowl with 6 people and the Shrine Bowl with 6. No Senior Bowl. Syracuse looked like they had a lot of players at the Senior Bowl. And where's the draft this year? Last year it was in Detroit. Green Bay. It's in Green Bay. It's in Green Bay. So yeah, the draft is April. And Colorado's Black and Gold game, April 19th. I think that is the date. Somebody can double check it. So the Black and Gold Day game is days before the NFL draft. So we'll probably see maybe our famed Shedeur, Travis, LaJohntay, all of them that are getting ready for the draft. They might come back for the Black and Gold Bowl game. Cameron Stillman, Craig, Shadozy, Justin Mayers. I don't know. Does anybody know if Jay Speedley declared for the NFL draft? I'm pretty sure he did because I think his dad played. And BJ Green, I know he declared for the draft. So hope maybe they'll come back to the Black and Gold game April 19th, and the draft is April 24th. But the first date on the calendar, or the next date on the calendar to watch, is February 27th, the Combine, and we have Jimmy Horn Jr., LaJohntay, and I don't know if Travis and Shedeur are gonna do the Combine. They don't have to, I don't think. I think when you a first rounder, you an automatic invite, but you don't have to go. Remember, Lamar Jackson went. I don't know what round in the draft Lamar went, but I know he was a Heisman, so I'm thinking he went first. But Lamar Jackson didn't run the 40, so I don't know what Travis and Shedeur would do at the Combine. But if they do go, we'd have 4 guys from Colorado in the draft, or in the Combine. It says, and where is the draft? Green Bay. So, all right, y'all. I guess we can get out of here unless there's something else y'all want to talk about. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'll be live at 8 o'clock. I'm sure it'll be some breaking news. I'm sure there'll be some breaking news because every day something pops up that I wasn't thinking about. Today I talked about the HBCU Battle of the Bands at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. That was nice. I was also saying to people, if you used to watch the TV show with the Dancing Dolls, Bring It, I think is what it was called. Or maybe it was called The Dancing Dolls on Lifetime with Coach Diana Williams. The captain, who was a dancing doll in Jackson, Mississippi. Her mama used to drive her every day from to practice, whenever they had practice, from Memphis, Tennessee to Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. She is the captain of the Alabama State Stingettes, who are performing in the SoFi Honda Battle of the Bands for HBCUs. And the HBCUs represented in the Battle of the Bands. Of course, I'm surprised Jackson State not there. Southern University, Alabama State, where Coach Prime's daughter goes to school, Alabama A&M, and University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So it should be on YouTube if you want to go watch it. If you watch Alabama State, watch the performance when they perform Is It a Crime by Sade. Sade will be proud. She will be proud. And I saved it on my channel, so it might be on my channel, but if you don't watch it, go look it up. We're going to talk about the Legacy Bowl and the players going to the Legacy Bowl from HBCU. I will try to get some Norfolk State, Delaware State. My school, Prairie View A&M University, my alumni, I didn't know. They performed at the halftime show. The marching band did at the Shrine Bowl. I didn't even know. I had no clue. So everybody's talking about it afterwards because it was really good. So that's out there. And I think Gracie was saying that she's happy the HBCUs are getting the love they deserve. Absolutely. And I like how they tie them into all of these other things, like in Honda, the SoFi, Honda Battle of the Bands, as well as the Shrine Bowl. So, and I don't know if they had a halftime show in Mobile. Oh, and somebody got engaged at the Senior Bowl. Somebody got engaged. I don't know who it was, but somebody got engaged at the Senior Bowl. So they popped the question doing the Senior Bowl. And I'm watching out. I'm still looking out for Jalen Milroe too. I know he was a quarterback in the Senior Bowl. So right now he's number 4 in the draft. And now that all the bowls are over with, all of these draft positions should be locked. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, y'all. So if there's nothing else, I guess that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me, for what she said. Thank you for all of my new members, Gracie, Regina, and Kiel. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. And I promise to make this fun. I promise to make the perk special. And I know y'all know I'm in Alabama, but you never know. We might try to do something for if not for the black and gold game in Atlanta, not Atlanta. Colorado, there's something going on somewhere. We try to maybe get together, maybe do stuff virtually as well. I was thinking about doing like a pajama party type podcast. So like, if you got like a hoodie from your favorite university, it don't matter what it is. Maybe we'll do something like that. So my thinking cap is on. And yeah, join us. Join us as friends of What She Said or What She Said family. So all right, y'all. If there's nothing else for tonight, I guess we will see y'all tomorrow or when you can make it back. Yanni Rivers is part of the replay game in the chat. So if y'all see her out and about in the comments, make sure y'all show her some love too. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thanks for watching What She Said.